I think my takeaway is New York is an open air prison. They talk about free Palestine, free New York. F Palestine. What about New York? Free San Francisco, free Oakland, free Detroit, free every leftist city in this country first before I give a damn about a Palestine.
Middle MAGA.
Yo, New York is wild. What's going on in New York? Man, where are we going next from here? This is the real Gotham City. Corey Chambers says Hochul for president of Venezuela. Actually, I don't think they want her. Crime's going down there because we're taking their criminals here. Venezuela's like, no, you can keep that Hochul. We don't need her down here. Eric Smith, what's up, friend of the show, says, will you talk about this exact topic or ramble on about everything but this? I'm going to do both. Let's talk about New York. New York, but, oh, what's up, Ray? Ray Studios, friend of the show, of course. We know Ray. Yes, doing great. Hopefully you're doing all right. Man, New York, they brought in the National Guard. And I found that strange. I mean, I think it would have been better for them to send the bat signal. I mean, Batman, Batgirl, Robin, Nightwing, Punisher, Iron Man. I don't think any one of them wants any problems with New York right now. They're out there snuffing people out of just thin air now for no reason. So they don't care about crime in New York. We already know that. Remember what happened with the young man, Daniel Penny, where he had to yoke a nigga out? They want to press charges against him. They don't want to celebrate that. So they don't care about crime. We already know that. They're bringing in crime. They're not prosecuting crime. There's all kinds of crazy predators, all kinds of crazy criminals doing all kinds of crazy stuff. They got to lock up the shops out there in New York, but they're going after Donald Trump. So why would they bring 750 National Guards in to check people's bags? Well, there's a couple reasons. Something might be going on that we don't know. Completely unrelated. I mean, I think completely unrelated to the typical crime that you see in New York, the typical craziness we've seen on the subway station. I've played the videos of all kinds of craziness going on there and how dangerous it is. I think it's something beyond that. Does this look like they're trying to stop like your regular petty theft or even pushing people into the tracks? Not to me. They're all here checking bags. Welcome to your military state, New York. You got National Guardsmen there. Now you're going to feel a little safer, I think. We wanted New York to be safer. But they have 36,000 police officers. I think they could have stepped that up first before going to the National Guard. So they went straight to the National Guard. I'm showing a video here where you've got the police force, people handing their bags over. They're inspecting bags, these little, I mean, do these do anything? So you basically got TSA-like stuff on the subway. Is this going to be the new normal? Remember, TSA came after 9/11, and at that time, a lot of people didn't think that was going to be the new normal, but they signed the bill. It's a new normal. Is this better than it was before? Why would New York go this route? All that you had to do was bring Giuliani back, and he would have had this thing wrapped up in about a week or two. Bring Giuliani back, he would have all the homeless, all those pushing into the subway tracks, all that done. Well, no matter what you think, it doesn't matter what you think about Giuliani at all. You know he would have, even Bloomberg, it doesn't matter what you think about Bloomberg, would have been done. But instead, you go this route. Is that the route you really want? When we said we wanted New York safe, it didn't mean to bring the military in. And I'm going to go through why that's concerning. Because it's who's bringing in the military. Why did we jump to this step? It seems like we jumped to a step. We jumped 2, 3, 4 steps. All you had to do was pass constitutional carry. And all this would have been done. All that pushing on the subway, over, done. But no, that's not what they want to do. New York is the perfect example of what happens when you give away your right to defend yourself. When you give away your right to defend yourself, you now have Gotham City. You have Gotham City where crime festers. The only people who are defending themselves with weapons are criminals, illegals, criminals, people breaking the law, or rich people that they've allowed to, and a lot of them have security. So you don't get to, law-abiding citizens don't get to protect themselves. The criminals get to protect themselves and attack you with the weapons. So the citizens are scared because they could get snuffed out at any moment. And when you defend yourself, like that guy at the little concession stand that had to defend himself against that attacker, like Daniel Penny and others, you're the one prosecuted while they're letting people out and then going after the president. So you, as a normal citizen, don't have any protection. This is the same thing's happening in Chicago as well. Same thing is happening to other places. The only people left to help you are the same people that allowed the criminals to have the guns. So now, even if you agree that this is safer now, at least they're doing something, who's doing it? The same people who caused the problem in the first place. I'm a populist. What that means is I want power to be distributed to as many people as possible. What you're seeing here is anti-populism. The power is being concentrated to Kathy Hochul. That's not what you want. You want to have the ability to protect yourself. And if you gave every single person in New York the ability to open carry, constitutionally carry, and protect themselves, it's a wrap. All that crime's over. All you need is a couple gack, and it's over. And it's not what I want, but that's what you need. The threat of it. I am nonviolent, but I was talking to somebody about Donald Trump's peace through strength. I 100% agree with peace through strength. You can't have peace if you don't have strength to avoid having violence. You don't see that type of stuff where they have constitutional carry. You don't see that kind of madness. You don't need a National Guard because the power has been distributed to everyone. And now we can walk around knowing there's not going to be any missteps. There's not going to be any misunderstandings. So you go ahead and you concentrate the power, and this is the atmosphere. So we've been chronicling. Let's go back through memory lane here. We've been chronicling this stuff. Remember Axeman? This was an unbelievable story. Axeman in New York back in 2022. So Axeman created chaos. It's literally a dude walking around with an axe in New York City. Just another day in the NY. Just some random Negro with a wife beater, a black wife beater, jumping over a counter for what? I don't know. He's literally crazy. And now you're seeing violence. So you have violence here, and this dude is crazy for real because there's dudes trying to punch him in his head, and it's not working. So this is the moment I would have been out. I'm going to tell you, I like to observe things and decide what to do and how to act. And at this moment, when this dude who walked into this whatever fast food place, with trash falling all over the place, he walked in, he had beef with somebody or something like that. There's two guys putting their hands on him, and he turned his back on them, and they're hitting him, and he's looking like he's slightly bothered at worst. That's the moment I'm out because I don't know what that dude's going to do next. And what that did do next, and so they tried to come up him, so he put his hand on his forehead, and then he came back, and this nigga took an axe out of his bag. Okay, that's troubling. It's troubling enough, and we saw that he started it. A witness was there, said that it started after Axeman was spurned by the woman he threatened. Threatening a woman. They have witnesses and everything. The dude was drunk. It was bizarre. And what did they do? They just let that dude out. That's how we get here. Ray Studios, if Ray Studios in here, we did this video with Sav Says. Sav Says
This is
walked around the streets of New York
then her.
and she saw some stuff.
They can never come in this park again, but hey, that person got $100 worth of drugs.
This is a picture of the president's son doing crack.
I do crack.
What do you think about the president's son doing crack?
I wish I could do crack with him.
Do you wish you could do crack with the president's son?
I wish I could do some crack right now. I'd rather do crack than talk to a beautiful woman. No disrespect.
All right, well, go get some crack, my friend.
I need $10.
My funniest thing
I
is
think that's the moment I would go get help. That's the moment. That's the moment I would go get help. I'm like, okay, it's been a rough go.
I wish I could do crack with him.
Do you wish you could do crack with the president's son?
I wish I could do some crack right now. I'd rather do crack than talk to a beautiful woman. No disrespect.
All right, well, go get some crack, my friend.
I need $10.
my funniest things is like seeing the crackheads fight. That'd be the funniest
This is
thing
New
for
York.
us. Like especially when we outside, it's random. That's probably the craziest thing I've seen. They got weapons. It's not no usual fight. They bringing weapons out of nowhere. You're like, yo, where he brought that pipe from, bro? It's like GTA. They just pulling out weapons. You don't know what's going on. But yeah, that's probably the crazy. It was a subway too long, right there. So it was
New York
crazy.
City is like real life GTA. They just be pulling the pipes out, bat out. They just switch them out. When you press like L2, you just switch it out.
I think the one time we went to that Brockhampton concert, and then the guy was like flailing his arms in front of us like this.
Squaring up, trying to punch people.
And we were just like,
I mean, you see people like literally the light of the living dead with one leg, and the degree of how poor somebody can be.
New York City is like the Walking Dead mixed with Gotham City.
Well, when that dude shot, it was I don't know how long ago. It was like I don't know, just a while ago. The guy who shot his gun and hit a tourist over here, and he literally, I was on the corner. I'm actually in the photo of the police where the guy's running, and when
This city has 36,000 police officers.
I was just walking around the corner. I walked right past him.
What are they doing all day?
I said, "Oh, excuse me," and that was the guy who just shot the gun.
That's happened here while they have so much more police out here that they've had people shooting out here. It's unfortunate.
Yeah, it's pretty unfortunate. Do you realize Jon Stewart was wrong? That's not the price of freedom. That's actually the opposite of it. This is the same place that they actually did pass this. Didn't they pass this? Let me look at this again. Goes into effect. The NYC law banning discrimination against height and weight goes into effect. So I told my wife, we were going to go to Chicago. I'm like, we're going to go in and out real quick because if you're in a city where they value DEI or the color of skin or who you have sex with more than how safe you are, I don't care, regardless of what politics you're at. That's not a place for me. That's not a place that I'm going to be at. So New York City, what do they value? They value the fat. And then the height is typically for short people, is what they're trying to do. They're trying to say you can't discriminate against the fat. Who cares? That's what you're focusing on? Remember Eric Adams? There's too much to go through. I'm not even going to get to them removing Thomas Jefferson from City Hall. Remember, Eric Adams is like, New York is a hell of a place, man. It's a beautiful place. You can come to New York and you never know what you're going to see, man. You can see something crazy. You can see something great. You never know.
York. This is a place where every day you wake up, you could experience everything from a plane crashing into our trade center to a person who's celebrating a new business that's open. This is a very, very complicated city, and that's why it's the greatest city on the globe.
Yeah, it's pretty complicated. Is that why you got National Guard in the subway now? Because you think something else is going to happen? Their governor takes trips to Israel. Yep, there's your first Israel reference. What was the over-under? 10 minutes? Where are we at? We're at 17 minutes. If you picked the under, you failed. There's Kathy Hochul, and she just touched down in Tel Aviv. New York and Israel share a special bond, and I'm proud to be here to show our solidarity with the Israeli people following the Hamas abhorrent acts of terror. What about the acts of terror in your own city? Are you able to handle that without calling in the National Guard? Ooh, I didn't even get to the pro-Palestinian stuff that we've seen in New York. What a mess. They're walking down the street. Quick, what country is this? Is this, wait for it. Is that Jordan or is that New York? So we've allowed people into our country that have the president up on a protest here, and I don't know what kind of nonsense this is, but it ain't got nothing to do with America. It ain't got nothing to do with New York. Well, maybe that's what New York has become now. Just an absolute disaster of a city. I mean, unquestionably, undeniably, I haven't been there since 2016, and I'm trying to keep it that way. I'd rather keep it that way. Remember the New York concentration camp bill? This was a real thing. We covered this a while back, then they tried to bring it back after. I don't know where this stands now. I think it fell apart. I'll have to look to see where it's at now. They brought back a bill that, if passed, would grant permission to remove. These are the same people. This is the same governor who brought in the National Guard for your safety. They hadn't cared about safety the whole time. This isn't about election or none of that. This is about something else. I don't know what it's about, but all I know is I'm not accepting the National Guard being brought in for any reason from this type of person. They wanted to do this, to have the permission to remove and detain cases, contacts, carriers, or anyone suspected of presenting a significant threat to public health. That includes race, and they just, anything. Public health is not even about the pandemic or anything like that. If they'll say if you're racist, that's public health. They passed, I don't know if they passed that, but they talked about racism being a health issue. Remove them from public life on an indefinite basis. That's what they tried. This area, this is the same place. Bananas. This was from this is from maybe 3 years ago. This one is, 2 years ago. Bobby Ann Cox.
Regulation itself, the title is Isolation and Quarantine Procedures. It's 10 NYC RR 2.13. And what it says is it gives the Commissioner of Health here in New York State the power to pick and choose who should isolate or quarantine. Now, that could be in your home, or that could be they take you from your home and they force you to go to some sort of a facility, a detention center, a facility, whatever you want to call it. So the regulation itself, it's the title.
That's what they were talking about. Ryan says, no way, that's Jordan. Even the Jordanians don't like the Palestinians. Well, just roll with me. I'm not really good with geography. What country? I don't know. Iran. What do you want me to? I don't even know. Syria. I don't know. But some place in the Middle East. I'm just grasping at straws. But yeah, you raise a good point, because you're seeing the Palestinian flag all over the place. Yeah, let's relive Daniel Penny had to yoke out Jordan Neely, the Michael Jackson performer that went crazy on the subway. Went so crazy that he tried to, I don't think he wanted to put him out, but he had to put him to sleep. And the headline was, Jordan Neely, the homeless street artist who was the victim. He was the victim of a fatal chokehold. Like Daniel Penny woke up that day and said, yeah, I hope I have to put a nigga to sleep today. All these things add up to where we're at. Let's look at China, because I think this is the end game. I went through and I was like, okay, give me some of the draconian measures that we've seen in China. I want to see if this is the end game. Here we see CCTV. Here's a simplified table summarizing the key tools and technologies used in mass surveillance in areas of China. CCTV cameras, Skynet, facial recognition technology, surveillance drones, robot police, big data collection, internet surveillance, mobile phone apps. That's what's coming. They already did the app with the pandemic. We know data collection's coming. I think that's the real play. I don't think they're acting on a threat or something, threat assessment. Who knows? I'm just guessing. I don't think that's it. I think they're going on, we want to get towards this 15-minute city, all that dystopian stuff. Here's what it sounds like. They tell you all you have to do is listen. They'll tell you what they want.
We're very focused on the data we're collecting from surveillance efforts, what's being said on social media platforms. And we have launched an effort to be able to counter some of the negativity and reach out to people when we see hate speech being spoken about on online platforms. Our media analysis, our social media analysis unit has ramped up its monitoring of sites to catch incitement to violence, direct threats to others. And all this is in response to our desire, our strong commitment to ensure that not only do New Yorkers be safe, but they also feel safe. Because personal security is about everything for them. As I said, no one walking down the street or in a subway should feel they have to hide any indication.
You see, they told you what they wanted to do. She's talking about nobody should be walking down the street. How did this start? It started with hate speech. What the hell is that got to do with being safe in the subway?
Also, we're very focused on the data we're collecting from surveillance.
Started out with data collecting for surveillance. I just read you what they use in China. Same thing.
Efforts. What's being said on social media platforms.
Same thing as China.
And we have launched an effort to be able.
When you're doing something so evil and you know it's evil, sometimes you hesitate. And I think that's why she seems so awkward here. I don't know if there's something with the teleprompter, if she's using the teleprompter. To me, it comes across as the subconscious saying, damn, this is messed up.
Forms. And we have launched an effort to be able to counter some of the negativity and reach out to people when we see hate speech being spoken about on online platforms.
What the hell? To reach out to people, negativity? I don't have the right to be negative anymore?
Platforms. Our media analysis, our social media analysis unit has ramped up.
I love how she snuck that in there. You're what? You have a unit? Maybe that's why you don't have enough police officers. How many are in there on X looking for somebody who says mean things?
It's monitoring of sites to catch incitement to violence, direct threats to others. And all this is in response to our desire.
Is she high? Why is she acting like this?
Response to our desire, our strong commitment to ensure that not only do New Yorkers be safe, but they also feel safe. Because personal security is about everything for them. As I said, no one walking down the street or in a subway.
What does that have to do with anything she just said? I'm 52 seconds in. What does the subway have to do with the hate speech and the social media?
Should feel they have to hide any indications of what their religious beliefs are. We expect to see people celebrating their lives, walking about freely. And that is no longer the case because people are living in fear. They have a right to do whatever they want here in the state of New York.
Here's another one from Hochul where she basically said, we're going to teach your kids that MSNBC is right.
Today I'm directing the Director of Division of Homeland Security and Emergency Services to develop media literacy tools for K through 12 in our public schools. This will teach students and even teachers to help understand how to spot conspiracy theories and misinformation, disinformation, and online hate. Start talking about what we're seeing out there. Give the teachers.
I need more definitions like Ray Studio says here. That can this woman even define what hate speech is? I've asked many people. I've never heard anyone define what this thing is. All it is whoever has the power to designate speech as hateful. That's all it means.
The tools they need to help these conversations in school. And by teaching younger New Yorkers about how to discern between digital fact and digital fiction, we can better inoculate them from hatred and the spread of it,
Man.
and help prepare them for a very fast-moving and often confusing world.
What chapter of the movie are we in right now? Remember, they did have dogs walking on the street. That's what's next. I know that program fell apart. They'll bring it back. Don't worry about that. The federal government will cut them a check and you'll have the dogs back. You know, we don't want to spend, the dogs are cheaper than, so one dog can help eliminate maybe 5 National Guardsmen, and it will save money. The dog probably costs $1 million. Who knows how much the dog costs? Last I saw, it was hundreds of thousands of dollars. Maybe they're cheaper now. Cameras on them. You might be able to put a piece on them too. Who knows? I mean, you can. I've seen it before, but not on the New York ones. This is from years ago. They brought these dogs out. China. I haven't even seen the dogs in China, really. I've seen them like experiment with them. Here's the other video with the dog coming out here. Here you go, New York. So the dog will probably have a camera to start with. Who knows? Give that bad boy a taser next. Let that dog handle its business. If you don't tell these people where the line is, there is no line. Here's the RoboCop. New Yorkers, these are the New Yorkers I remember. They look at stuff like this was crazy. So there's this R2-D2 robot walking around, rolling around, and this dude's like, "Get out of my face. Get that ish out of my face." This ain't Star Wars. Get that it out of my face. He's like, "Bull ish. Out of here. Out of here." That's the New Yorkers I remember. Get that ish out of here. This little R2-D2 ass robot rolling around. What is it gonna do? I think they canceled this program. I wonder why. They'll bring it back though. They'll put Google Gemini in that bad boy, and then they all whiteys look out. If they program one of them bad boys with Google Gemini, they'd be like, see, they'd be able to look up social media. They'd be like, black is good, white is bad. But see, my ass would be out in the subway. They'd be like, boop, boop, boop. We saw your social media, bad. Kink, 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 kink. I think my takeaway is New York is an open air prison. They talk about free Palestine, free New York. F Palestine. What about New York? Free San Francisco, free Oakland, free Detroit, free every leftist city in this country first, before I give a damn about a Palestine.
Middle MAGA.